space and be able to pull what they want off the shelf in an effort to improve on-time delivery. Reporting structure, David Wong, he's the VP. Rob Mosier was my mentor, and now bottom is me. I'm actually still working there, and now David Wong is my supervisor because I'm in a different department. The time at Climax was evenly spent between the three. So ISO, this is what I already went into. Kind of see the result from the project was that the benefit was we are now ISO certified. So it was a success. So this is the new product cell design that I was talking about. You can see with the Metro carts, that's the point of use. Those are the parts that were needed to make anything in that cell. The design is one thing. The things that started coming up were that we had a machine shop that if something was delayed, all of a sudden the point of use isn't as defined as it should be because we have a part that's not there. So they end up waiting anyway sometimes. So it's continuous improvement, it's constantly developing, but this was a great start. So our assembly project, the third of the time I spent on the assembly project, was divided into two parts. This was the manufacturing cell and the supermarket. So for the on-time delivery and for the manufacturing part. The manufacturing cell, this is really just about flow and how we can find ways to save money. So the ROI, return on investment, that's what everybody likes. That's if you can prove that, they typically let you go a little further with your idea. If you can't prove that, they start asking questions. So just by implementing a different picking process for the parts and moving all the parts necessary for the top level machine into the cell for easy access, we're able to estimate an ROI of around $4,000 per year. And this was simply by changing one bin to put everything in the bin, and then the assembler has to sort everything out, find out the part number so you can start building. If you give them a tray that's already labeled, you eliminate that process. And I think it was something little, it was like 30 minutes. Well, if you multiply 30 minutes by the 50 parts they make a year, you start to and then you factor in how much I think it's like $150 an hour. You start to see that that money come in. And then here's the other part. So that was very interesting to see how quickly things add up when you have waste. The supermarket, I have pictures. Here's the manufacturing cell. This is how it was before. The supermarket is actually in the cell. They build it, and then they put it out on the racks as finished product over here. Over here are the bins. You take that, you build it, and then over here is where shipping picks up your final product. So what I did, took the supermarket out, put that into its own area, which we'll see next, and rearranged the cell to where the assembler was able to move more free and more in order. And taking the testing area behind and separating that from the assembly area. Here's the supermarket. Supermarket originally looked like this, and it now looks like the one on the right. Continuous improvement still in process, but it looks a lot better. So it looks like somebody can walk down there and shop. Smaller projects. What I noticed in both internships is I had free time waiting on stuff. It's always waiting on something. So you have to have smaller projects to fill your time. That can be done with cool stuff like a production test fixture, which was made to test flange spacers. So they go on the top and then you test them for their cutting tolerance. That's what this thing was. So You can see the CAD at work there and then finished product. Or it can be done with work instructions. This isn't Climax, this is proprietary information, so this is just off the internet. But that's work instructions. They definitely do a good job of taking up some time, and they're important because if you're in a manufacturing facility, you're going to be dealing with them, especially if it's ISO certified. Good space fillers. Helpful courses, technical writing, doing that now, do that every day. It's been very, very helpful. 3D CAD courses. Climax uses AutoCAD Inventor. Of course, here I learned CATIA, an internship before, I learned SolidWorks. So that's just all over the place. Good things to know. Manufacturing processes, that's another cart before horse type of thing. You gotta know where you're going. Lean manufacturing, just constantly going back to Googling lean manufacturing concepts and trying to apply them to what I was doing. And engineering economy, knowing how to calculate our ROI was essential for this. Like I said, if you want someone to listen to you, tell them how much money they'll save. The calculations in that course definitely help.
Yes. So avoid the high traffic of
I'm supposed to do a comparison of the two internships as part of the senior level MECOP. It's for some reason it's not on my my form here, but I can tell you. Electrochem Solutions was my first internship, and that was here in Beaverton, or not here in Beaverton, that was in Beaverton, and that was dealing with medical devices, specifically batteries. Did AEDs for hearts, and that was a more established lean environment. At Electrochem, we had defined cells. It was a high mix, low volume facility, but at the same time, we were pumping out a ton of stuff. And it was very, very conducive, I guess, to the MECOP experience. The head of the department was a MECOP graduate. My mentor was a MECOP graduate. And it was just very, it was a very good experience. A lot of learning. Climax, they have their own internship program where they take high school kids and they bring them in as interns. So you have MECOP going on as well as that. So that was a very interesting dynamic. It was, the senior year was much more, I was expected to know a lot more, and I was let loose a lot more. So those are the big differences there, but both excellent experiences. Questions?
You can get a light so you can see them. Thank
My
you.
eyes have adjusted.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Thank
Now
you.
you're working there.
I'm working as a quality engineer.
Okay.
I would rather worked as a manufacturing engineer. However, there are no openings. I wanted to stay. I need to work. I need money and all that. So I've been a quality engineer there for a little over 2 months, and it's a lot of learning, but it's a good thing to have with the manufacturing degree. Anything else?
You graduated already, right?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
No,
So you're still.
I get to hang out until spring, waiting for a
Okay.
course.
Oh, okay.
Love that.
It's fantastic. Yeah, a lot of time to think. Yeah, so, but the Climax is very close, so it takes me about half an hour to go the back way, and
Oh, okay. Right.
they're very good with
Yeah.
they're very good with the school. because there's a lot of people there that went here,
Ah,
and everybody kind of knows the drill.
I see.
So without your degree and you're working there, did they bump your salary up after your internship? Or are you still having to stay at the intern rate?
I negotiated that. Once I am degreed, we can reassess, I've been told. We'll see. We'll see where I go. But I really would like to work as a manufacturing engineer,
There.
anywhere.
Oh,
Electrochem, I would have loved to go back. I really liked it there. They did outsource manufacturing engineering, however. They still hire for mechanical and electrical and computer science. But their manufacturing facility, I think as of December, will be in Mexico. So that was not an option.
Mm.
Yeah, they compensated a little bit.
cool.
A little bit. Anything else?
Any advice you have for them? So they are first year, so they haven't gone out. I mean, they just went through the fall event. They have a placement event coming up in January, and then they will get assigned to their first internship. Any advice that
Yeah.
you have for
Oh,
them?
yeah, lots of advice. Appropriate, I don't know. You go and you make the best out of it. There's a lot of ups and downs. I myself have almost 20 years in the workforce before MECOP.
Mm.
So I had a lot of jobs to compare this to. I can act professionally. Sometimes the kids from OSU, they're coming in at 20 years old, and that was a little weird dynamic for me. But I thought I had the companies I wanted to go to, and I ended up with companies that weren't even on my radar. But I got a good experience out of it. I got the most out of it as I possibly could, and my resume looks pretty good now. If you have a mentor, my first mentor, awesome. He was just a babysitter, to be honest, but he made sure that I got everything that I needed out of my experience. My next mentor, he's a very busy man, and I had to ask him to do stuff. And that's my big advice there. If you're just sitting there, ask, what can I do? How can I help? They see that. And with that, they see value in an employee. Anything you do in any other job to be noticed and to be valued, do here, because it does not go unnoticed. So a lot of 20-year-olds that go in and they'll do a lot from what I hear, and they don't get hired. So yeah, so just be proactive, and that's positive, proactive. It's the best advice I can give.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Ashley. Okay, it's coming over.
Your slides will be on the MECOP side.
They are on the MECOP site.